Tayal, can I just get you into this conversation as well? I'm just coming back to the income tax because we are just bothered with the middle class and we are bothered with the salary class, right?
I want to ask, backbone of this country. They are shouldering us, Mr. Mehrotra, Mr. Titiya.
Which is why
we are the ones who are shouldering.
We are the ones who are also funding political freebies
and
welfare measures. And
all
there's
of
a difference
that is
between the
because
two.
Of us.
And the political class tends to conflate both of them. That's not true. Both
true.
are not the same.
They're not.
But Dr. Tayal, I just want to bring in here. India's middle class, and you are also part of India's middle class, although I'm unsure how to describe the middle class because everyone has their own definitions. And to my mind, anyone who earns 10 lakh rupees and above is India's middle class. ठीक है? So Dr. Dharinder Tayal, my simple question to you is this. If in 2019, the government of India could be very, very kind to the corporate world and bring down corporate tax from 30% to 22%, भाई मिडिल क्लास ने क्या बिगाड़ा है? हम काम करते हैं, मेहनत करते हैं, ईमानदारी से काम करते हैं, ईमानदारी से टैक्स पे करते हैं, and we are the ones who get ignored every time. We are the ones who get a thank you for your taxes, but आपको और कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Every year this happens.
Okay. So thank you, Shreya, for having me here. And yes, everybody has his own definition of middle class. Like a gentleman on the panel, I would want to be a middle class like him. Couple of shows back, he was sporting a 2 crore rupee middle class watch. So I certainly want to be in the same middle class bracket.
Who is this Tehseen?
So anyway,
are you talking about Tehseen here? Tehseen, show us your watch.
I don't anybody. But
Tehseen doesn't come under middle class. He's super rich. He needs to be taxed more. हाँ, Dr. Tayal, बोलिए.
At the beginning of the show, he has been saying
I'm wearing a simple gym watch. I'm wearing a simple gym watch. I've come from my gym.
अच्छा, चलिए, like Dr. Tayal.
I've come pumped from the gym, all pumped up for tomorrow's budget.
Dr. Tayal, make your point, please.
Coming back. Now, couple of points which have been made. One which has been said that why don't we widen the tax base and the upper end? What are we doing with the upper end? So let me give you some data here that the tax returns for the 50 lakh plus, if we call 50 lakh plus super rich, so have increased from 2.52 lakh filings to 9.62, which is an increase of 400%. Now, what Mr. Mehrotra said, that why is it something not being done? It is only because something is being done that it has risen fourfold. And today, the amount of technology that is being used, I mean, we're saying it is so difficult. Yes, it is. And nobody's denying that if you're in the old regime. But at the same time, so much is now coming to you automatically, where you are only tallying, the government is telling you what you've done. You are only telling, oh, really, this is what I had done. So all that is being done. I mean, just the way to, get into some kind of bashing. Also, let us come to the people who are not in the 50 lakh plus bracket. There has been an increase of 120%. So while the offers are being made, while the things are being pushed down, or at the same time, the net is being widened. And that is basically happening because of the investments that are happening in the digital infrastructure. Let us also, a lot was said, I don't know how Mr. Mehrotra is saying, we are in the high inflation times. So, I mean, if at 5.2%, which is 4 months low, we are in high inflation times, I do not know what is expected in the country. Anyway, jobs also, he's been talking.
Dr. Tayal, Dr. Tayal, can I just interrupt you here?
Yeah.
एक मिनट सुन लीजिए बात मेरी. Dr. Tayal, एक मिनट. I'm not saying this government data tells us that household savings are at a 47-year low. I'm not making this up. This is government data. ठीक है? You're talking about inflation being under control. Anyone who goes to the Friday market to buy their own sabzi will tell you inflation is not under control.
No,
Dr. Tayal, please.
The data is showing inflation is under control. I mean, just by saying bhindi महंगी हो गई, I can't say inflation is not under control. Let us be real when we talking.
Middle class आदमी के लिए inflation और क्या होता है? आटा महंगा हो गया, दाल महंगी हो गई, चावल महंगा हो गया, सब्जी महंगी हो गई. That is inflation for us, ना sir?
the data is in front of you. As of today, the food inflation is low. So let us not just say I went to the market and वहाँ पे महंगा मिल रहा था. You know, so the food inflation is low. When we're talking about data, we're talking about macro data, and suddenly I'm saying I am the person who went to the market and the fellow told me भिंडी महंगी हो गई. I mean, let's get real. So coming back, one of the things which was said, I just want to give you some more data. Now, as per the middle class which we were talking about, now in 2024, those earning between 10 lakhs and 15 lakhs, their average tax liability comes to about 1.1 lakhs. Now, at the UPA time, this would have been 2.3 lakhs. And if I adjust it for inflation, it would go to 4.2 lakhs. And I can give you this data from more tax labs, which means there is actually, in real terms, you're talking about 60% less tax. And if you talk about the bracket, we're talking about somebody who is in the 7 lakh to 10 lakh bracket and pays an average about 43,000 rupees annually as the income tax, which is about 4 to 5% of the income, which is among the lowest in the world. So let us grant it to the government.
Make a point, just one point.
Dr. Tayal, I don't know what you're saying. I honestly don't even understand what you're saying. Are you telling me that in real terms I'm paying less income tax than I was paying 10 years ago?
No.
I mean, a person who is earning 50 lakh rupees is actually only getting 25 lakhs realistically in the bank account after paying taxes and indirect taxes. Huh?
Just one point. I think the BJP spokesperson, sir,
Dr.
Saab, may I just correct you? The government's own economic survey, their own economic survey shows retail food inflation at 8.8%. Their own economic survey saying, okay, and now you have to hear this. Because obviously the rise in certain fruits and vegetables, spike in fruits and vegetable prices, etc. Now the vegetable and oil prices. So 1 second, what the government has done, how does the government headline manage? They've reduced the weightage to only 8%. Actually, आप दाल ज़्यादा लेते हो, तेल ज़्यादा लेते हो, उसका उन्होंने weightage कम कर दिया to bring inflation numbers down. This is how this government does. आदमी, गरीब आदमी, middle class आदमी क्या लेते हैं? दाल, तेल. Actually, the prices have gone up, and to compensate and show inflation has gone down, so this point can be made on mirror now. They've reduced the weightage in the basket. This is how this government does economics. It's called jugaad economics.
Mr. Mehrotra, would you want to just come in here? I have exactly 40 seconds left, but I do want an economist. मैं तो हूँ नहीं economist, but एक मिनट, मैं तो हूँ नहीं economist, but Dr. Tayal has made.
Oh, come on.
Dr. Tayal, kal bhi hai. We have all of tomorrow. I just want to get a response to what you have said, because I don't seem to agree with you, but then I'm not an economist. Mr. Mehrotra, Dr. Tayal seems to be suggesting that if you look in real terms, we are actually paying 60% tax less than what we were 10 years ago. कि इतना tax burden है नहीं जितना आप लोग बोल रहे हैं. And that we are paying the lowest taxes anywhere in the world. My counter would be, am I getting the services that are equivalent to, say, a Sweden or a Finland or maybe even a United States of America? But anyhow, 20 seconds for you to respond.
No, I think your question is a legitimate question, and I think he is actually misleading. I mean, jugaad economics is a very mild term for us to use for the kind of economics and economists that this government is full of. Let me just stop there.
Okay, we'll leave it there because I'm sure this discussion is going to continue tomorrow as well. Dr. Tayal, kal baat karenge. We have more to talk about. Thank you very much. Mr. Mehrotra, thank you very much for joining us as well. PK Basu, good to have you on the show. Let's see if the government can actually bite the bullet and tax agriculturists as well, farmers, rich farmers as well. That will be quite something. Thank you very much, Mr. Basu. See you tomorrow. Prateek Bansal, thank you very much. And Tehseen, always good to have you on the show.